Hey, family. Today I want to share with you a short little message I've called The Pursuit of Excellence. I think it's critical to who we are as a company and what we're trying to build in TradeOxy, because excellence is at the core of everything we do and who we are. I'll be honest, sometimes when I look at the TradeOxy platform, I think to myself, this is absolutely world class. I think the level of precision that you guys have brought to your design, the way that you've integrated it with various different things such as AI and the way that our back end and front end work together are absolutely incredible. However, I want to challenge you to think that we can go further. The best is yet to come in this area. And that's what the pursuit of excellence is actually all about. Sometimes I think that in large companies, there can be this attitude or this thought process that we have reached our minimum viable standard, and that's where we need to be because any extra work than that is unnecessary. But I want to challenge you in TradeOxy to take the opposite approach, which is in that your area of expertise, everything that you do can always be improved. That's not to say that what you've done isn't awesome and wasn't your best at that time, but I believe that as we focus on the pursuit of excellence in everything that we do, we will find that there is more incredible things to do. Maybe you're an incredible graphic designer and you're designing this amazing TradeOxy platform. And the images that you've built and the different images that you've created are already amazing. And you're thinking to yourself, holy moly, I'm absolutely nailing this. But I believe that if you continue to focus on this over the next 3 to 6 months, you'll find that there's brand new ways that you can create more compelling experiences for our customers. I believe that if you're a back end developer, you'll start to find that there's ways that you can speed up how fast your program is executing. Maybe there's a new programming language that you can use to make everything faster, more efficient, more effective. Maybe there's a whole brand new measurement system that we can use. Ultimately, the pursuit of excellence is not so much about a destination as it is a lifestyle and how we approach our work that we're doing. When we adopt a pursuit of excellence mindset and a pursuit of excellence approach, we create experiences for our customers that are so compelling that they don't want to go anywhere else. It becomes so easy to use, so fast, so world class that we'll find ourselves not just starting to follow what other companies are doing, but to set that leadership pace. And all of that comes from a pursuit of excellence. Wonder if you could take 10 seconds to think to yourself of a product that you absolutely love. What is something that you've used that you absolutely adore and you think to yourself, holy moly, these people have thought of everything? I remember the first time I got into a car in Canada and it was a Volkswagen. And I remember getting in there and thinking to myself, my goodness, these engineers have thought of everything. Everything I did just worked in that car. It was such a pleasure to drive. It cost me a little bit more than cheaper models, but it just worked. And for me, that was an amazing experience. It meant that I could focus on doing what I wanted to do, which was driving around in a brand new country in the snow and learning how to do that safely. Maybe for you as a designer, it's a product that you've looked at and you're just thinking to yourself, this is absolutely beautiful. Maybe you're a front end engineer and it's just a framework that you looked into that you're like, man, this thing has libraries for everything I could possibly want to do. Maybe you're a back end designer and you're thinking to yourself, wow, this brand new programming language just handles errors so much more effectively. Maybe you're one of our customer support team and you're thinking to yourself, you know what? I could come up with a checklist that would allow me to serve our customers in a way better way than what we're currently doing. I want to tell you that all of those thoughts are absolute gold. And we as a company want to capture them every single moment of every single day and invest into making them a reality. I want to give you three thoughts or three keys around how you can adopt the pursuit of excellence into what we're doing. The first thing is to develop a pursuit mindset. A pursuit mindset is a mindset that says, I'm always going to be chasing the next target. You're not settling for where we currently are and slacking off and kicking back and having a rest. Other than taking care of yourself and self care, which is a slightly different thing than what I'm talking about, I'm talking about the mindset that says every day you come in and you think to yourself, I want to be ruthlessly focused on making my work the best in the world. In 12 months' time, I want to be able to look at my work and think to myself, I have gone further than I ever thought was possible. And I've definitely progressed from where I used to be. Sometimes I do that with my own code. I look at code that I wrote 2 or 3 years ago and I think, oh my goodness, this is horrendous. But at the time, it was the best that I had to offer. And I believe that that ruthless focus on continually improving what I've done has led me to be able to solve some of the most interesting and complex problems in the programming world. So that's the pursuit mindset. The second thing is an excellence mindset. Excellence mindset is something that doesn't settle for mediocre. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes when there's deadlines, we do have to make compromises because there's certain problems that we can't solve. And I understand that, and it's an uncomfortable place to be. However, an excellence mindset looks at what you're doing and says to yourself, how can I make this better for my customers? How can I make this more effective for the people that are going to be using my product? And sometimes those customers might be internal. If you're a back end developer, you might not really be interfacing with front end, with the customers directly, but your customers are probably going to be your front end engineers. And so your ruthless excellence mindset is looking at that and saying to yourself, how do I make this easier for these people to use? How do I make this return faster so that they can do what they need to do in an easier way? Maybe you're a graphic designer and you're thinking to yourself, how do I make this the most beautiful product on the market? How do I create hooks for people to be able to understand what we're doing? That's the excellence mindset. It looks at it and says, how can I make this more excellent? The third key to the pursuit of excellence then is learning how to do this sustainably. And I think that this is a really, really critical one. Probably, if you were to think about it, we've all seen companies that have been awesome for a couple of years and then they've crashed and burned. They've burnt out their engineers, they've burnt out their leadership team, they've burnt out all of their people. Maybe some key people leave and they just fade away. 5 years' time, they're just a memory. That's not who we want to be at TradeOxy. We want to build a company that lasts, and the pursuit of excellence is about learning how to do that sustainably. So, I want to challenge you to come up with a checklist of things that you do every day that lead you to becoming more excellent. I want that checklist to take no longer than 5 minutes and to be something that you can easily tick off. And I challenge you as a team, for those who are listening to this who are working at TradeOxy, I challenge you to drop that on our internal Discord and tell me what your excellence framework is going to look like. For me, I try to make sure that every single day I read something that challenges my brain and when it comes to programming. It could be a new language, it might be a new framework. Lately, I've been reading a lot about all of the different large language models that are out there. Maybe it's some research, but I try to make sure that the first thing I do every single day is to just read something that challenges the way that I think about things technically. The second thing I often like to do in my life is to have a look at something that I've done in the past and think about how I can improve it. Maybe I want to have a look at a back tester that I'm building and think about how I can make that faster or better. Maybe I have a chat to someone like Mitzi, who's a really, really good friend of mine, and I'm sure most of you know who he is. I like to have a think about how can I have a chat to him about how can we make this better, more effective, whatever that looks like. And the third thing that's really important to me is developing checklists so that I can do anything that I do repeatably. And I would say that that one's probably built from a lot of negative experiences where I didn't have those checklists and I created problems for myself in the future. So, the third point here, and my challenge to you, is to come up with a way of having an excellence mindset that is sustainable. Now, these three keys put together will help you to be awesome at what you do, to be more excellent at what you do, but also will help us as a company to grow, prosper, and thrive. And most importantly of all, make sure that our customers have the number one experience on the planet in terms of using our platform. Over to you, and I look forward to seeing what you've got